Hello! Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. I'm going to teach you how to play Terraforming Mars. In case you're wondering, the game I'm using is Tabletop Simulator. It's a mod inside of it. It has free workshop and it's for Steam. Terraforming Mars is a game where you take control of a corporation that is trying to terraform Mars. Each player, well, typically this game is it does have its own single player mode, so it's from 1 to 5 players. It's 14 from ages 14 up, and the games can last quite a while. Once again, this game is called Terraforming Mars, and it's one of my favorite engine building games of board games, really. This is one of my preferable board games that I like to play, where an engine building is basically something where you get a bunch of cards and they all work off of something when certain criteria are met. So when you're building an engine, it slowly starts to come together. Well, with an engine builder, it's the same concept. That's what they refer to these type of board games. And Terraforming Mars is often considered to be one of the best. Depending on who you ask, obviously. This is the board. You got the corporation you will be. So, you got the base corporations, which all have benefits and things like that. Where they all have the starting value, and then you have the effect throughout the game. They all have their uses, and they're all very beneficial. For this setup, I'm going to be playing mostly the Prelude expansion. Don't worry, the Prelude expansion doesn't really add much. The only thing it does is gives you a kickstart and adds a couple more corporations. But for this for this over here, I'm going to not use the corporate era stuff or the Prelude corporation. I'm just going to use the beginner corporation. The beginner corporation is good because it gives you 10 free cards, which basically if you were using one of these, then you wouldn't get a free card. Instead, you would have to pay for every starting card that you start out with. We'll be using only basic projects. The corporate era projects are also come with the base game, and you can identify them with this little red symbol on the bottom left of the card. You mainly play with these cards whenever you want to extend the game, typically. At least that's what the rules say for some reason. So you start with your basic 130 4 basic projects, shuffle them. But first you have to pick your corporation. For this, once again, I'll be only using a basic corporation, where you start out with 42 ME. I will start to talk about the resources now. ME, or mega credits. MC. Yeah, MC. It looks like an E though. Weird. Well, whatever the case, mega credits are the main currency for the game. For any project you draw, there is a cost on the top left, and you have the effect itself. In the picture of the resources you gain from it. The objective of this game is to get the oxygen track all the way to 14 and the global temperature all the way to positive 8 as well. I put all 9 ocean tiles on it. Once that all 3 of the criteria are complete, then you can start doing the end game scoring, which around the board is your score marker, where it can go all the way around, and once again it can continue to lap until you're until you're done. These games last a long time. They can they can range from only like maybe 3 hours to like 5. This game can take a long time, especially because of all the thinking you'll be doing on what you would like to do. In the end game scoring, you use your terraforming rating and everything, and then the person with the most score wins at the end. Now here's other different resources. We'll be using the red player marker to indicate our resource gain. Typically, whenever we start a game, we always put our resources at 1, if I recall correctly. Yes. No, I never did quite understand that. Whatever. Typically, I always start with 1, and I assume that's the rule. So you can see that this is your start. These are the resources that you will gain every turn. You gain 1, but it's also plus your terraforming rating. By default, all your terraforming rating is always start at 20, but when you're playing solo, it starts at 14 because, well, you're solo. So I'll be doing just a solo mode, and I'll be doing just a couple rounds just to show you how the game plays. We start with 42 credits. The gold is worth 10 credits. The 5 is worth 5. Well, actually not credits, but resources. And the brown is worth 1. So we will be using 3 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these to indicate that I have 42. You don't start with any resources of the rest of this stuff. This is iron. This is used to pay for certain cards that have this tag on it. You'll be using iron as a resource to hope to pay for the card. So as you can see with this card, if you want to pay for this card, you can either pay 15 credits or you can also pay with some iron. Say if I had 5 iron. It says over here, iron is worth 2 credits each, so if I pay the bank my 5 iron, and I use the rest with 5 credits, then I'll fully pay this off and I can play it. This is titanium, same rule applies except titanium is worth 3. This is the space tag on the thing. For every card, they always have tags on the top right of the card. So you got your cost, your card, your card tag, and you have the type of card it is, which is indicated by the color. Oh, there we go. Typically, green means one-time effects, so you can only use this once by playing its cost. Blue cards stay on the field and you can activate them once per generation. Generation is your turn, or each turn, well, between every round. Let's just say round. And you have red cards, which typically is a negative effect that either targets other players or it just impacts the planet in some way. Typically they will give you negative points by the end of the game, but not all the time. On the bottom right, if it has a big number, that indicates that it gives you victory points at the end of the game. This thing over here requires 7% oxygen. So if the oxygen saturation is about 7%, which if you have already done, then you can play this card. If not, you cannot play the card at all. And it's very specific, so you can only play this at 7%. So if you're at 10%, you cannot play the card. At least I believe that's what that means. Let's see if anything to prove me wrong on that. Requires 12%, 13% oxygen. Typically, if a card has the resource and bracketed in brown, that means that it gives you a resource production. So if I played that card, I will be gaining 2 heat instead of 1 every turn. Heat is used for every 8 heat. You can turn those in to increase the temperature of the planet by 1 peg. So whenever I change something, so say if I increase the temperature of the planet, I can then increase my terraforming rating, which will in turn, terraforming rating plus how much per mega credits I make per turn will increase the amount of credits I get. So right now, with 14 plus 1, I make about 15 credits per turn. Whenever a temperature, whenever I raise the temperature, raise the amount of oxygen, or put up an ocean, that will increase my terraform rating by 1. Or if I put up a greenery. Well, actually greeneries increase the oxygen by 1 whenever you place one. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. Well, I'll say right here. Another resource you produce is plants. For every 8 plant, you can turn those in to put down a greenery. Greeneries raise the oxygen level by 1 point, but will thus increase your terraform rating. Power. Power is used for a lot of different cards and lots of different abilities. You use power to for mostly project cards. But at the end of every round, if you have any leftover power, it will get transported into heat, which you can then use heat to raise the temperature. Or, yes, raise the temperature. This is oxygen, this is temperature. So instead of raising this, you'll be raising, for every greenery, you'll be raising the oxygen level by 1. And that will increase your terraform rating. If the oxygen is all the way at 14, and you have placed a greenery, you do not gain a terraform rating. That is only if you have already, if you actually improve this. Little milestones that happen during this, you can see the symbols that will cause those to happen. So say if I was at 7% oxygen, and then I did something, I put down a greenery, which then I'll put my player marker on. Then that will increase the oxygen rating by 1, which then we're at 8, and you can see the symbol here is the heat marker. This will also increase the heat by 1 peg, which will then increase my terraform rating by 2 because I increased both this and this. But if the heat was already at plus 8, then I would not gain another terraform rating. It caps out at the max. And we're good with that. Put this back. Alright, and I think we're just about ready to start. I already talked about all these. I got my starting corporation, so now it tells me everything I get start with. I got 42 credits. I don't get any resources, but every resource tick up by 1 every generation. I get 10 cards, so I draw 10. 5 and 5. In my starting hand, I don't need to worry about paying for them because I get 10 free cards. But because I'm playing with the Prelude Corporation, the Prelude set, shuffle into the main project deck, hit 5, and deal 1 corporation. If you want to play the card without, you may still keep 7 cards. You also deal 4 prelude cards. Yes, 4. So this is my starting hand. I'm just going to put this on the side here. and I also get 4 prelude cards. Between the prelude cards can be played anytime during the game, and they are bonuses to your corporation. They are indicated by prelude cards by having that side V symbol, or I guess the lesser than symbol. You know, because the Pac-Man always eats the higher one, but whatever. Alright, so we got several benefits. I'm definitely going to keep power generation, and I will keep after being played, when you perform an action, the wild tag is then tag of your choice. I'll also be using resource network. That is very beneficial. The rest of them goes outside the game and back into the box. I always just keep them hidden or any players. Once again, this is a competitive game. This is not cooperative. I guess it's semi-cooperative. You're all trying to do the same goal of trying to terraform the planet, but there can only be one corporation that has the greatest terraforming rating, thus they are the winner. The one with the greatest points. But you're all doing the same goal. So, to start out the game, we'll be thinking of what to do here. It goes like this. Turn order phase. First player marker moves clockwise 1 step. First player token is this little Mars token. And because I'm the only player, it don't really matter, but just showing you for sake of argument. Research phase. We skip the research phase the first turn of the game. Action phase. Take turns during 1 or 2 actions, then it's the other player's turn, then you continuously do those things unless either you run out of credits or you run out of things to do. And then you gain resources, and then the game goes on to the next generation, which is rounds. So to start off with, I'm going to start playing my prelude cards right away. You don't need to do this, but you can. So that will increase my power production by 4, or 4, because it's in the brown border. And also this allows me to draw 3 cards. And it increases my resource production by 1. These things stay on the side. For every card you play, they always stay to the side. But you always want to kind of put it so you can always see the tag, because there are certain cards that will work off those tags. I cannot play this card because this requires oxygen. I cannot, may not be removed from this card. Let me see how it's placed. You may create an animal. Interesting. So when it's in the red border and it has that city symbol, which is a tile that can be placed, then then you get whatever happens. So because it has the 2 dots right there, you get a pet. Pets are worth one. They are worth 1 victory point per every 2 animal you have. So if everyone placed about 4 cities throughout the whole entire game, then you gain 2 victory points at the end of the game. Because it's in blue, it will be a constant use, so it will always stay on your board, and it will always activate at least once per thing. I don't produce much, so right now I really want to focus on what kind of resources I can produce. I cannot make this, or it must be 18 degrees or colder, so I can use this. So I think I will. So I'll be playing Sits to the Bank, so that way I can play this. Green tokens, once again, are one-time use. but but you keep them on your board, your side of the board, so you can always use the tag later in case another thing says that you increase the tag. So this increases my plant production because it's in brown. So right now I'm at 36 credits. Require 4 degrees or warmer. Cannot play that. This is decrease. I do not want to decrease my power yet. I would like to increase. Now I would like to increase my power if possible. It requires 8% oxygen. I cannot play it. There's also standard projects where you can sell a patent, which is 1 credit per card. But I typically like to do the in-game roll of 2 credits per card because typically 1 credit per card is not worth it. Not ideal. When it's in a red border like that and it's minus plants, then it takes away 3 plants from any player that I want. And remember, it's plant resources and not plant production. Plant production would be pretty crazy. This will increase my plant production, which will be nice. I would like to save this. Urbanized area. Decrease your energy step, increase your ME. Place a city tile adjacent to at least 2 other city tiles. Ooh, this is a problem. I can't really do that. Because there need to be at least 2 other city tiles, so I cannot place that yet. Increase current plant production by 1 step. That is an instant use, so I'll be using 10. I gain 1 credit in return, and then I get to play it. Which will increase my plant production by another step. And for the last thing I will do this turn, I will be using 25 to use a standard project. There are various standard projects. One I can discard to get credits. 2, I can use 11 credits to instantly increase my my power production. 3, I can increase the temperature of the planet for 14 credits, which will then increase my terraforming rating. 4, I can use 18 credits to raise an ocean tile. 5, I can use 23 to place down a greenery token, or I can pay 8 of those, which I would always prefer to pay with plants than actual credits because this is pretty expensive. But I'm using 25 to place a city tile. I can place it anywhere except where there's a blue outline and wherever there's already a city there, or where it says that a city has to be placed, unless the project card tells me I can do that. So I cannot place it right here, I cannot place it over here, I cannot place it over here, and I cannot place it on any of these tiles. But what I can do is place it anywhere that I really want. I will place it right there. Typically these symbols on the board means that I will gain whatever resources they are on. So if I place it right here, I will gain 2 iron. But I'm placing it over here, and then I put a resource indicator to indicate that's my city. Then I can increase my ME production by 1. Now I have 2 credits left, and I cannot do any more, so then it's the end of the turn. So I pass, and then the next generation starts, which then indicates the production phase. I gain money according to my production. I have 3 mega credit plus 14, that's equals 17. So now I have, let's just give that to 10. Stop that. And I gain every resource up to how many I have in production. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm one of these. So now after the production phase, then the new generation starts. Generation tracker goes up. Typically, if you are playing solo and the generation token goes above 10 or 11 or 15 or something. I think if it goes above your beginning, you lose. I believe that's the only condition to where you lose. I believe, but don't quote me on that. So then it's the beginning of the next phase. We do the research phase. So I'm just going to take all my cards, put them face down. That's my hand. I draw 4 cards, and I can keep any of these cards as long as I pay for them. If I pay for them, then I can keep them. But none of these cards really appeal to me right now because I have no other players I get to play with. So I cannot take heat production from anyone. This requires 14 degrees or warmer. It places a ocean tile, which is better than doing it regularly. So I think I might do that. Everything else goes in the discard pile. Because I drew 1 card, I have to pay 3 to the bank. And now it's the beginning of my turn. I don't remember what the hand limit is. I might be doing this wrong, but this is typically how the game is played. I would like to play this card. I do not have enough. I have 3 titanium, which will decrease the cost by 3, but that's not everything I need to do here. Place a city tile adjacent to at least 2 other city tiles. So I cannot do that regardless. It decreases your energy production but increases your plant production. That's not ideal either. Must be 7% or less. Gain 3 plants. Place city tile. Place the city tile and decrease your energy production by 1 step. 24. I do not have enough. I have 16, and if I pay 2, then I'll be 18, but it's still not enough. Regardless, so I cannot place that. That's unfortunate. And not much I really can do this turn. To be honest, I really don't have... That's the thing about this game, is that according to whatever cards you have, you're pretty limited sometimes. What can I do here? Decrease your energy production by 1 step and increase your plant production by 1 step. Asteroid. Up to from any player. See, I don't know whether you're playing single player, whether you have to decrease that to yourself. It says from any player, so if I were playing not co-op, but with another player, or once again, this game is from 1 to 5 players, I can take 3 plants from them and get 2 titanium, which is good. We'll increase that. I really don't have that many options, so I will be playing this. where I'll be playing 11. Whenever you play a red card, you keep them, but you place them face down. But you will still use them at the end if you have any negative victory points or positive. And you'll be using the tag for whatever card requires them later. So now I place an ocean tile. I can place it anywhere where there's a blue border, and I will gain the resources indicated. So over here I'll gain 2 titanium. Over here I'll gain cards. So I think I'm approaching the hand limit if I'd already not surpassed it. So I'm just going to do 2 plants for right now. So that will give me 2 plants. Oh, I should have just got the titanium. Oh well. Too late for that now. So, and that increases my terraforming rating by 1 because I put an ocean down. Not much else I can do here. I only have 5 credits left. I cannot afford anything else in my hand. So I think I will start selling patents. Once again, this is for every 1 card you get 1 credit. Let me double check just to make sure. Actions, play a card from the hand. Milestone, use standard project. You may discard discard a number of cards from the hand to gain the same amount of M. Oh yeah, so it's worth 1 per card. I always house rules it and say it's worth 2, not worth the amount that you paid for, but you typically it actually gives you, some incentive to sell patents, because I feel like 1 is just too low. I will also discard this. I'm pretty sure I'm approaching the hand limit anyway. Or warmer. Get rid of this. Or no, we'll get rid of this. Then they're discarded. And I gain 4 credits. Four. Now I have 9. Nine credits still isn't much to do with. So I think I'll just end my turn. So I end the round where this ends. Then I gain resources according to how much I have. So 3 plus 15 is 18. 1, 2, 3. You can also, once again, put these and switch them out because they are worth the same value. And I gain resources according to everything I have. So I got 3. So I'll put 2 of them away and then get a 5. All power get converted into this. Let's add one of these and get off. One over here. So now I gain 4, 2, 3, 4. And one of these. Once again, it's the start of a new turn, so I group this. I move the first player token. It doesn't really matter because I'm still in single player. Generation token goes up by 1, and now it's the beginning of the research phase, where I draw 4 cards. I choose any I want to keep, paying about 3 per card I want to keep. This requires at least 2 power tags. I do not have... Actually, I do, because research can be any tag of my choice, so I could use this. So I think I will keep this. This is also really good, but this requires 4 degrees or warmer. I'm nowhere near that. This is also really good. Add 2 microbes to another card, but I don't have any card that can add microbes, so it don't really matter. These go in this card. I pay 3. And now it's turn order once again. To start off with, I will be trading in these. So I've just traded in 8 plants for a greenery. Greeneries have a special placement rule, which means that they cannot be placed anywhere. They must be placed to a city you own, which is why I placed the city to where I didn't gain anything. So I'll place the greenery right there, and I gain 2 iron. Or 2 adjacent to another city. I still don't have anything for that. This will -6. I could get Phobos. That would be useful. Iron. 2 times, that will be equal to 8. 8, and then increase energy production by 2, increase plant production and terraform rating. 9, decrease. So I'll be playing Soil Factory just to mainly show you what happens if you overpay with iron. If you overpay with iron, and say if I had... I can't do that regardless. If I had 5 iron, and I paid with 5 iron to pay for this, 5 times 2 is 10. So then the last credit I will not get back. I will actually lose that to the ether. So I'll be overpaying for iron, and I won't be getting that back. But because I have 4, I'll be paying 4, and I pay 1, and that fully pays off the card, so now I can activate the effect, where I lose 1 credit energy production, sad times, but I gain 1 plant production, which is pretty good. So now every 2 turns, or every 2 generations, I should be able to put down a greenery with the amount of production I gain. And I get a victory point at the end of the game for playing this card. So it's more of a long-term strategy. Now I'll be playing Phobos too. For this, I will be paying 2 titanium. 2 titanium times 2 times 3 is 6. So I pay for 6, so there's actually 19 credits. And I pay the 19. I get 1 back, and I get to play this. Once again, green is a one-time effect, but I gain an increase in titanium production, and I get to place the city tile on a reserved space. which means I get to put it on Phobos. Phobos, in case you don't know, is a asteroid, or not an asteroid, a moon of Mars. So I get to place the city on the Phobos space station, which will forever be there. And I will gain 3 victory points for that at the end of the game. I'm out of credits. I pretty much did everything I could, so then I end my turn, and so the next round begins, where I will once again get the corresponding production. Then other things happen. But once again, you can see how this game plays. Typically, the higher this goes, and the higher this goes, the more terraforming rating you get. I guess I'll do one more round, just to show you. This time, I'll be trying to actually increase my end-game goal, instead of just wasting time. So, first time, production. 3 times 15, 18. So 18... I'll be putting 2 back, so that way I can get 20, just to make it easier to count. 1, 2 titanium, 4 plants, energy get produced into heat. I get my energy. And then I get 1 heat. As you can imagine, heat becomes useless after the heat is all the way at max, because you wouldn't gain any more terraforming rating after that. So heat is a finite resource that you should probably use whenever you get 8, unless you have like a special card that can use heat, but otherwise you won't really get anything. Generation goes up. I'll be taking my cards and putting them back over here so I don't deal with them. The 4 research cards. Once again, I'll be giving the first player token, but I'm playing single player, so I don't. Whenever city place is, you gain 2, which is good when a bunch of cities are being placed, but once again I'm playing single player, so I don't plan to put a lot of cities down. Over here, increase your enemy production by 5 stats, 1 victory point for every 3rd city in play. This is an insanely good card, which will increase your enemy production. And for every 3rd city at the end of the game, so you can imagine there will be a lot of cities, because every player will have at least 1. You gain 1 victory point. So this is an insanely good card with 2 good tags, with this tag being space, so you can play titanium for it. Increase your plant production by 1 step on your energy production by 2 steps. It's pretty good. I'll put that. Rest of these are discarded. $19. I had about 22. Yeah, I had about. Wait. Yeah, I had 22 before, so then I just paid for up to 19. So now I'm looking. I got plenty of heat now, so I'll be paying 8 heat to increase heat by 1. Yay! I finally did it. I finally did something. Oh, whoops. That's not what I do. Generation stays right there, and I increase 1 in my terraforming rating. want to mainly focus on doing things right now. Oh, let's increase heat a little bit, shall we? There's something I can do here. Must be 7% or less. Gain 3 plants, place a city tile. Decrease energy, but increase ME. I don't have enough. I cannot play that. Alright, I'll be playing Fusion Power then. I'll be paying one of these, so that way I pay 12 instead of 14. This gets played. I do have 2 power tags. I have this and this, which can be any tag I choose, so I choose power. And this will increase my energy production by 3. 1, 2, 3. If my power ever goes above 10, then I put 1 right here and I put 1 right here. And that will indicate how much I'm gaining. But if you have the tabletop game, then it wouldn't really go. It will go up to 10, but that's about it. So then you'll just put 10, and then you'll put, then you'll just stack them over and over. I don't know. I lost track of how much energy I was gaining. I was at 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm good. All right. And I don't really have anything else I can do around here. 7. Unless I can use something with a space tag. I can play this. Or this. That will increase my energy production by 2 steps. That's fine. I'll do that then. Oh wait, yeah, I'll do it. So, -5 will be right here. It will decrease my energy production by 2. This by 1. It goes up by 1. And then I run out of things to do, so then my turn will end. But yeah, this will continue to go until I reach, I think, generation 14 or 20 or something, probably 14, and then the game just instantly ends. Typically, if you're playing a 4K player game, the generations don't go above like 10 or 14 unless you guys are just mainly prioritizing your engine building, which is, in case you haven't put together, engine building refers to how much you snowball and how much resources you gain per turn. Where you're slowly building an engine and it slowly starts to get going and snowball continuously. So at the end of the game, how you will be doing this is that say that I done nothing at the end of the game and someone else completed the game and put everything to where it should be. So I literally did nothing. All the ocean tiles are out. Boom. Everything's finished. So at the end of the round, then victory points are being made. We're first. Milestones. Typically, milestones are awarded when you first get them, and it goes like this. 1. If a person reaches the first person to reach 35 terraforming rating. I did not do that, so I don't get that milestone. 2. I get 3 cities. I got 2 cities. I never got that. 3 greeneries. I only got 1 greenery. I don't have that. 4. Builder, where I get 8 building tokens. I got 1, 2, 3. And that's it. 3. None. I don't get one. That. Uh, 6 or 5. I get 16 cards in my hand. At any given point, I think I only got like 8. I believe that's what that means. Either that or projects, but I'm not willing to check right now. Awards are things that are funded throughout the game. So say if you paid 10 for the first award, you say if you thought that you will get the most science at the end of the game, so you'll pay 10, you get 2 back, and then you'll put your player token on that. So then at the end of the game, the person with the most science tags will become the scientist, and they will first get 5 points. Say if it was a 3-player game and I got 2 science and my opponent had 1 and the other opponent had 0. I will get 5, my opponent will get 2, and the person who got 0 doesn't even qualify. And so on and so forth. And victory points at the end of the game are measured by terraform rating once again. So you'll be doing awards, then you'll be scoring the victory points of your cards. I had 3, 1, 4, so about 4 points. So from 17 to 21, which is good. And then we'll be scoring greeneries. I get 1 point for every greenery I have. This is going to. So then the greeneries are scored. Then I do cities. I get 1 point per city for every greenery next to it. Phobos didn't get anything, but that's okay because I got 3 points from Phobos anyway, which is pretty good. Cities, I get 1 point per every greenery next to it, so this will gain me 1 point. And then my final score would be 23, which is piss poor for the if you're getting only 23. Especially if it was a multiplayer game. Single player, it's not very good, but you know, it'll do. But typically, that's how scoring works in the game, and this is how the game works. So to review, Terraforming Mars is a 1 through 5 player game. It has a solo mode, and the person at the end of the game who has the most points wins. You end the game by increasing the oxygen to 14%, and the temperature is 8 degrees Celsius, and all ocean tiles are placed. By the end of the game, the person with the most amount of victory points wins. And that was Terraforming Mars. Let me know if you like this game and whether I should do more. See you later.